Hello, everyone. It's Brenda Douglas, and I am here with another Homebound challenge. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the Homebound challenge, these are challenges that I give you to help prepare you for home ownership, right? They are acts of faith so that you can move towards your goal of owning a home, right? So in this episode, your Homebound challenge is for you to request a copy of your credit report so that you can review it, right? And get familiar with it, how to read it, right? Because this skill is going to be necessary whether you are buying a home or if you have a home and you want to refinance your home, right? Or let's say you just want to keep on top, you want to stay on top of your credit score. I think that whether you have a home or not, you should stay on top. Get in the habit of staying on top of your credit score, right? Because if you do nothing with your credit score, nothing will happen to your credit score. Sometimes people purchase a home and then they get relaxed and then they stop being diligent about studying their credit report or even knowing what's on there, right? So I want you to know what's on your credit report, right? Because you can proactively clean up your credit and build your score. Anyone can. You don't have to pay anyone to do it. Anyone can raise their credit score. You just have to know what to look for. You have to know what are the criteria or what are the things that affect your credit score. All of those type of videos. I have some videos already on those type of things because when we know better, we do better, right? So look through my channel to find Live, Laugh, Love, DMV. Woo! Get those words mixed up sometime. Anyway, just look on the videos and find the videos about credit report. I also have some information on my Facebook page about credit repair and things of that nature, and also on Instagram, things like that. I try to post out so that we can be educated. But I want you to pull your credit report. That is your challenge, right? And it should be easy because you can get your credit report from all three bureaus. You can get it absolutely free by going to annualcreditreport.com, right? Now, there are three credit bureaus, okay? You have Equifax, you have Experian, and you have TransUnion. I don't recommend that you go to each one of those. You can if you want, or you can just go to one website and you can request all three credit reports. Now, listen, this is going to be, for some of you, this is going to be an act of courage, right? I remember there was a time when I didn't even want to look at my credit report. I was like, I don't even want to see what's on there because I know it's pages, right? It's pages. I would go and apply for, a car or an apartment, and then they're like, well, let me pull your credit report. That thing will start printing off pages and pages and pages. And I'm like, oh, I know I ain't getting this. Or that interest rate is going to be really high, right? And I was so bad that I would get to the point where somebody would be like, ma'am, if you don't make this payment, we're going to have to report you to the credit bureau, right? And my response was, there's no more space on my credit report. This page is long already. So feel free, because it's not going to make or break it because, hey, it's already bad, right? So I had to change my thinking, right? And I had to change my behaviors, right? And so I want you to do the same thing. And I want you to understand how important it is that, and also I want you to know, more importantly, that you have the power to change your score, right? So I want you to get your credit score and I want you to face it, right? Like I said, I didn't want to look at my credit score. I didn't want to look to see what was on my credit report. I knew that I had evictions. I knew that I had repossessions. I knew that I had late payments, lots of late payments, right? Because I didn't care about any due dates. If I have it, you have it. If I have it, you have it. If I don't, I'm not going to stress over it. So my point is that I had to build up the courage. I had to pray for courage to be able to face my credit score, to be able to look at my credit report, right? You know, that's why I understand that scripture that God told Joshua, be strong and of courage, right? Some things in life require you to have courage, right? Because if you do nothing, nothing will happen. If you do nothing with your credit score, it will not go up or down. It will not go up or down. It'll stay the same for years like mine did. I'm like, I'm not doing anything bad. Why is my score staying the same? It's because I'm not doing anything to increase the credit score. I'm not doing anything to boost the credit score, right? You have the power to change your score, right? So again, I want you to visit annualcreditreport.com, and I want you to look at all three of your reports, right? They should be, all three of your reports should have the same thing on it, right? The main thing is I want you to be able to read and understand how to read your credit reports. So after you pull your credit reports, then you're going to go to YouTube University and you're going to understand or find videos that teach you how to understand how to read your credit report. I think that too often, too many people will go to a company and ask them to build their credit score instead of learning about it themselves, right? You have the power to change your score, but first you have to look at what is on your report. Now, let me just say that a report, some credit unions and some banks will give you your credit score, right? Because I don't believe, at one time the scores were not on the credit report, and I don't believe it is. But you can, like I have Navy Federal, you can go on to the credit union and then it'll say something about credit report. Click it and you can see your report, and then in some cases they'll have the score as well, right? But I want you to pull your credit report because there's a way to dispute discrepancies. There's a way for you to look and see, well, where am I hurting the most, right? That was my thing, because there's a percentage. The credit score is made up with different factors. I did a podcast about it. The credit score is made up of different factors. The one that was hurting me the most was the late payments, right? That counts for 35% of your credit score, right? So what you want to do is you want to, again, read and understand this credit report, and you want to see, where am I hurting the most and how can I improve? And you're not going to stress over, or feel overwhelmed. Like I was like, it's just so much. Where do I tackle it? It's just so much. You do it one bite at a time, right? A little bit at a time. So for me, my start was paying on time. Let me just start there. Let me just start with paying my bills on time. What is the due date? And then I just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it, right? And I guess they stopped reporting, right? Anyway, then also the time, the length of your credit, the time. So there are factors that affect your credit. I'm not going to go into all of them right now, because the main thing, or the Homebound challenge for this particular episode, is for you to get your credit report from annualcreditreport.com, and you're going to look at your credit report and you are going to read what's on it and you are going to study. Right? Courage is not the absence of fear. You may feel fearful about facing that music, right? But at the same time, you have to. And I'm like I said, you have to do this whether you are a homeowner or not, right? Because you don't want to buy the home and then you're not able to refinance when you're in trouble, right? Or when you need to pull the equity out, right? All of those things require a great credit score, right? So you want to get into the habit of understanding your credit score, and you want to be empowered by building your credit score, right? And there's so many websites. Experian is one of them, where it'll teach you how to build your credit score. There are Facebook groups where they will teach you how to build your credit score. You don't necessarily want to be don't necessarily want to pay someone else to do it for you. You have to learn to do at least a little bit of building, right? Because once you, again, develop the behaviors, it'll become a habit and it becomes second nature for you, and you'll be able to build your credit score. Even if you take a hit, you'll be able to get back on track, right? That's why it's good to be empowered. That's why it's good to read your credit report. When I first got my credit report, it was like a foreign, like I didn't understand what was going on. Like when I looked at it, I was like, what is this stuff? you have to be able to understand what's on it, and you have to be able to read what the numbers mean and what the graphs mean and things of that nature. So your Homebound challenge is for you to order your credit score at annualcreditreport.com. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next challenge. My battery's about to die. Thanks.